Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. It's Neil and Chris.
Hi.
Hey, we're in Arkansas doing one of the new ASP classes this weekend that we've been working on and developing. We're excited and gonna have a good time, but we came down early to create some content. You've probably been watching a lot of it over the last few weeks. We're in Arkansas where are we at? We're in Bentonville at some range
Arkansas.
somewhere today. We'll be at Fort Smith this weekend doing the class. And we're super excited about the class. And you know, the cool thing I like about Chris is that he and I bounce ideas off each other, and most of our classes start on a napkin.
Yep.
And so something started on a napkin not too long ago, and we're gonna just test it today and see what happens.
BakerTargets.com is where I get the targets you see me shoot all the time on Active Self-Protection Extra. They ship fast, their prices are great, and they have all kinds of targets, both for competitive shooting, defensive shooting, and fun too. Check them out.
We do a lot of talking and have spent a lot of time developing decision making with guns and how the cognitive load affects our, you know, how we perform and all of that kind of stuff. So what are we gonna do today?
So really what we're going to do today is introduce a controlled sensory overload.
There you go, yep.
So for what we're trying to do today is to input some auditory kind of cacophony on people to see if that impacts their shooting.
Yeah.
So if we introduce a lot of random noise, does that impact their time? Does that impact their ability to make smart decisions, make good shots? And if it does, now we've learned something.
Right.
So once you learn that, you can start to inoculate yourself from it. But until you know how you'll be impacted by that, you just don't know.
Yeah. You know, that's you know, the thing I say on video all the time. I'm like, if you're making the decision in the moment, you're slower. You're going to be less accurate. You're going to your performance is going to be less. So if you inoculate yourself, I love that word. Chris has all the big words. I've got all the little words, right? But if we can prepare ourselves for that to some degree, and it actually adds some novelty to our range time and gives us something fun to do and something interesting to test. And if you're watching this, that means that we got something out of the test.
Right.
If we don't get anything out of the test, this won't make the channel anyway.
Right.
So this is a controlled test. We've got two shooters. We've got Natalie and Kara off camera, and they're away, so they have no idea what we're going to do. All they know is there's a speaker sitting here, and so what's the shooting that we're going to have them do?
So I think we're just going to have them run a series of 10 shots.
Okay.
And we could do one without any other preemption. They don't know it's happening. They know something's happening. But we'll have them shoot that like 10 rounds with the noise, and then have them do it again without it and just see if there's a difference. Now, is it scientific?
No.
No. But it does give one an opportunity to, at least within themselves, do they have a physiological response to this?
Right.
Because a lot of times when we talk about decision-making stuff, it's visual.
Yep.
But is that the only sense when you're in a defensive encounter?
Yeah.
Maybe not. So
what are we going to be looking at? We're going to look at times and performance and targets. What distance do you think we should set them up to shoot? Should they be shooting at 10?
yeah, because I think if we add the more control difficulty we put on it, the more apt we are to see it change.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's what I just thought as we were talking here. If we set them up at 3 yards, like we're kind of set up, so we'll have to move some stuff.
Index might take over.
Yeah, index. It's going to be a pretty easy shot. So let's at least add a little bit to it that they have to make a shot.
Yeah.
And we'll call it what, A zone their target.
Yeah.
So, all right. So with that, we're gonna just bring them in and test this thing. Our shooters today are going to be Natalie and Kara. You hopefully know who they are. If you don't, this is the Range Monkey. And if you don't know who she is, get a hammer out and hit yourself in the head because she's on the channel all the time. Kara is with us a lot. Kara works at Mantis, takes a ton of classes with us. Both of these ladies are top-notch shooters. If you watched any of the videos over the last few weeks, you saw them outshoot Chris and I on a pretty regular basis. So
Neil anyway.
Yeah. So we've been having fun, and again, this is just a test. This is not scientific. Please don't give us the, you know, whatever your internet scientist garbage is. Just let us have some fun here, and we're just going to see what happens. We're going to test a hypothesis. This is how things happen, and progress happens because we put something down on a napkin and then we go test it. Most of our napkins end up in the trash can. I'm hoping this one doesn't because I think this is going to be fun. So, all right, ladies, here's what's going to happen is we're going to put you at about 10 yards, is about right here. Kara, you get the target on the left. Natalie, you get the target on the right. At the beep, you're just going to draw and fire 10 shots into the A zone. at your pace. You kind of want to do it quickly as you can get your hits is the goal. Then we're going to save that data, and then we're going to do something different.
Okay.
Understand what we're doing?
Easy squeezy.
All right, go ahead and get your eyes and ears and load and make ready.
Shooters, are you ready? Stand by.
All right. Go ahead and top off. You need at least 10 more rounds for the next. All right, so for everybody watching home, we'll show you the target later, but they all got all of their A-zone hits.
Yep. Solid shooting.
Solid shooting, all right? Okay, so now with the fun, hold on, let me make sure I got this thing set right.
And then so just for you guys, just so you know, so if we're talking about this as a team, not as an individual, the total time was 11.64.
Nice.
Don't be afraid to draw your gun and shoot when
I
you
know
hear the beat.
I have too
Did you
many
get-
shirts on.
You got caught up in it? All right,
All
cool.
of the clothes.
All of the clothes.
All right, you ready, Chris?
All right, so I'm on probably.
Oh, look at that.
That's interesting.
Less?
Okay, hold on. Before we say anything, we'll tell you on camera here in a minute, but let's do it again without, step back up there. Do you have 10 more rounds?
Yeah. Probably.
One more time.
All right, here we go. Hold on, I have an idea.
Okay.
So now we obviously know that there's a distraction device in play. Even though that's going on, I want you to listen very closely to me, okay?
Okay.
All right, here we go.
Do you want that on?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
All right, here we go. Headbox, 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 headbox. That's interesting, right?
I think I shot one shot at. No, I didn't.
What did you hear?
No, I had 10.
I heard like help guys, and I was like, I don't think that's what he said. And then I heard headshot.
I heard, but I could not process
Right.
what I heard.
See, that's
So like, I think I was 2 shots in, and then I heard headbox.
See, and that's like, again, there is no right answer to this. It's
Yeah.
just figuring out. So let's say we're in a club or a restaurant with live music, and someone's saying "help me" or something. We're like, what? And that's
Yeah.
it's an interesting change up.
Yeah, I waited to fully understand before I did take a shot. All of my shots were headshots.
Okay.
But that's perfectly reasonable.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right? And it's perfectly reasonable to say, hey, I'm engaging a threat. I don't really
Yeah.
care what
Yeah.
you're saying.
So I went on the beeve.
Yep.
And then I was
Yeah.
trying to listen. I think I put 2 in the body before I went out.
And that's all of those things are interesting because I'm professing that I don't know that there's a 100% right answer. It's just understanding how you would react to that. Right. So the first time was like 1140. Then I think we were in like a 790.
something. Yep.
A 790. So the actual, when we introduced the distraction, you guys were significantly quicker, but there were other factors involved with draw and things like that. That one was 1186. But we had variance on how the two shooters approached
We
it.
added one more piece to the cognitive load
Yep.
because we had the distraction, which they kind of already knew was going to happen. But then all of a sudden it added, I have to listen to Chris, and now I have to make another decision mid-draw or mid-string. And that was really interesting to see how that played out between the two.
Yeah, because now just talking about the test, right? If I was going to continue to do this, I would figure out other ways to.
Yeah.
Where, like, have somebody tugging on you, mommy, 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 daddy, daddy, daddy,
Yeah.
something like that to go, oh, whoa, 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 whoa.
Yeah.
It's just interesting how that impacts you. So, wicked job, guys. All good shooting.
Yeah.
Excellent shooting.
Yeah,
by
that
the
was
way.
great shooting. Natalie's got 1 Charlie. Kara's got 1 just below the head box. Other than that, everything is in the zone. We can turn that around. But for those of you that are watching, because I think this is going to make the channel now, because it was an interesting thing, and again, not scientific, not nothing more than, hey, we had an idea. Let's just see what happens. Let's see what happens if we add a little noise, if we add some distraction. You had helped me with this thing, and you had gotten me gunshots, so I figured you were probably ready to hear gunshots. When I'm like, I'm going to mix it up on her just a little bit. And we're not trying to play gotcha games.
No,
we're not doing anything. We're just like, if you're out and about and things kick off, there's likely going to be some noise, and there's going to be, you're going to have to make decisions like that. So this was just interesting. Again, we'll continue to play with this and see if there's some lessons that we can get out of it. But we were going to test this without the camera, and I'm like, set up the camera, because if something interesting happens, it might make a cool episode. We have some fun. For those of you watching, if you've done anything along these lines, hit us up in the comments and tell us about your experience with that. It's an interesting thing, and I'm glad that you guys did it. So thank you. Nice shooting.
welcome.
Yeah, excellent work.
Thank you. Nice shooting. I'll show you the targets quick, because everybody always wants to see the targets. So here are Natalie's. The first ones were all in here. The second set, when we introduced the music, she tossed 1 out, and then this was the headshots, everything in there. Yes, those are line breaks, and line breaks count.
Yes.
At my range anyway. This is Kara's target, everything in. When we introduced the headshots, 1 went low. That's good shooting, folks. So, hey, thanks for watching. Tell us what you think. See ya.